If you are a builder or a contractor and you're constantly getting surety bonds for bids or for contracts, you may want to look into setting up what's called a surety bonding facility. And what that entails is you actually create a kind of like a line of bonds that you can use at your discretion in order to bid on projects, start contracts, and not have to go back to the underwriting of bonds every single time. So how do you do that? Well, in order to set up a builder surety bonding facility is what it's called, the contractor will first start with your surety bond provider, and you have to provide some financials. You've done this before when you've created one-off single use surety bonds, but you'll have to provide financial information about the company, about your business, maybe some background on the kind of projects you've done, maybe individual backgrounds on the principals, financial information, also creditworthiness to make sure that you have funding capacity should a project go into overrun. And then you'll negotiate the terms of that bond in terms of the coverage amount. What's your highest limit? What does that bonding facility give you as a max amount of surety coverage that you have? And also who are eligible as bond recipients. As the principal, you can designate different what's called an obligee, which is the person or company requiring this surety bond. And you may have certain limits on who you can designate as an obligee. But part of having this surety bonding facility set up is you can actually be more responsive to contracts. The key steps you need to set up to get that facility in place is to identify what bonds you might need in the future. Are they? You will be back in your video in just a few seconds. In the meantime, remember that actualhuman.com offers you live one-on-one private video consultation with an expert in this exact subject. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions. We want to give you expert advisement of your options and tell you what we know about your particular situation. Now back to your video. Construction bonds, are they bid bonds? Are they performance bonds? Financial bonds? And then determine what types of bonds you'll need. Make sure that the bonding company you're using issues those types. You also want to make sure that that company has a long-term capacity for their appetite. Because as your needs for bonds develops over the next few years, you want to make sure that that bonding company, or what's called the surety, will be able to absorb those needs. You also want to make sure you keep up to date your financial documents. They may want updated P&Ls or balance sheets to keep track of your financial condition. And the underwriting is typically a one-time event for the initial facility, but they may want to update it throughout the years to make sure that it's still applicable. Or if you want to expand your capacity, you may want to do more underwriting. The things that they're going to look at is obviously credit score, your net worth, meaning your assets, your liabilities. If you have any prior claims, that's going to be an issue to make sure that you're not constantly failing on performance or failing on contracts. And if your company expands, if you add more employees, if you add more footprint, that may be a good thing. It shows that you're growing, especially if your finances improve commensurately. So if you are constantly getting surety bonds for contracts, performance bonds, bid bonds, you may want to instead set up a bonding facility for your organization so that you can do some of your own self-issuing of the surety bonds. And you know that going into a contract or a bid, you have the surety bond pre-approved, so to speak, so you don't have to wait the underwriting time for that contract to be valid. If you have more questions about arranging for a surety bond facility or for individual bonds, you can contact us at the link below, probonds.com. Thank you for watching another episode of Actual Human Advisory on Describe TV. Remember, we have live one-on-one consultation appointments available at actualhuman.com, where you can book a one-on-one undivided attention live call with a licensed investigator, a licensed insurance broker, a licensed mortgage broker, real estate broker. I'm also a certified real estate title examiner, a certified civil court mediator, along with having developed and started over 15 businesses, several of which were sold for millions of dollars. So if you do have questions in any of those categories, you can arrange a one-on-one live video consultation. Use the link below, and we'll see you on the next video.